I quote this verse quite often. Romans 12:2 says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Don't conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Transformation. How does transformation take place? How does metamorphosis take place? How do I become a better person, a different person, the me I was created to be, the best version of myself? How do I do that? It's in your mind. It's in the renewing of your mind. It's in seeing yourself the right way in your mind. And often our inability to sustain changes that we want to make or to continue to move toward the person that we want to be, it's limited based on what we actually really, really believe about ourselves. All right? Let me illustrate it like this. When I was a little kid, I don't even know how old, probably 6, 7 years old, my dad started taking me to Cleveland Indians baseball games. Okay, we lived in Akron. And so we're talking the 80s, okay? I was born in 80. And so we would go with I'm talking the old school Indians, Corey Snyder, Joe Carter, Tony Bernazard, Felix Fermin, Brooke Jacoby, Pat Tabler, Andy Allenson, Greg Swindell. I could keep going. I went to those games. I was taken by these athletes, and all I wanted to be was a ball player. Okay, I'd take my baseball glove, I'd sit in the stands, hoping to catch a foul ball. So one day my dad comes to me, he's like, hey, Greg, do you want to play baseball? We've been watching baseball, do you want to play baseball? I'm like, oh yeah, sign me up. So we sign up for T-ball, and then I play Little League and all this. And in my mind, I'm a ball player. I am an athlete. If anybody asked me what I was going to be when I grew up, ball player. I'm already a ball player. And that's what I'm going to be when I grow up. I'm going to be a professional baseball player. It was already known in my mind. Okay, well then I started watching basketball, and I want to be a basketball player too. And then Bo Jackson played 2 sports, pro football and baseball, and then Deion Sanders did it. So I thought, well, Greg Ford is going to do 3. I'm going to be the first guy ever to play pro baseball, pro basketball, pro football. It's funny now, but at the time, you couldn't have convinced me otherwise. I'm a ball player. I'm an athlete. This is who I am. This is what I'm going to do with the rest of my life. Well, now I'm 42 years old, all right? And what's crazy is I still think I'm an athlete. For some reason, that belief is lodged down inside of me. And so because of that, sometimes I get myself in trouble, right? A few years back, I decided at 30 years old, I was going to do a boxing match. So I went and trained for 6 months. I hired a trainer. I fought a guy who had already done a bunch of amateur fights. I get in there. In the fight, I tear my bicep. And now I have to go to orthopedic surgery. It's got to be put back together. But you know what I did? I rehabilitated. I got back in the gym. Why? Because in my mind, I'm an athlete. This isn't like I tore my bicep, now I'm out, and I'm not going to work out anymore. This is rehabilitate and get back in the game. Well, some people have to learn the hard way. A few years later, I'm at my niece's grad party. I see this giant industrial wooden spool, and I think I can flip it. Why? Because in my mind, I'm an athlete.
You need to get a little more under it. There you go. You got it. Come on. You're fine. You're fine.
I tear my other bicep. Same orthopedic surgeon, shout out to Dr. Maletti, put my other bicep back together. Goes in, reattaches it, sutures it on the bone. What happens now? Am I going to quit? Of course not. Why? Because in my mind, I'm an athlete. So what do? Rehab, get back in the gym. A couple summers ago, I'm racing a 25-year-old through our parking lot. Why? Because I'm an athlete, baby. I'm fit, I'm healthy. I can win this race. Running through the parking lot, I thought Godzilla stepped on the back of my heel. Achilles tendon, full rupture. Back to orthopedic 1, back to rehabilitation, surgery, 6 months to get back to normal. Did I leave the gym? Did I quit exercising? Absolutely not. Why not? Because lodged in my mind is that I'm an athlete, that I'm healthy, that I'm fit. And so no matter how many bad choices I make, no matter how many tendons I rip, no matter how much bad food I eat around the holidays, or if I miss a few weeks in the gym, or I, eat too many carbs, or whatever I do, I know that the gravitational pull of my life is going to be back to health and fitness. Why? Because in my mind, what I believe to be true about myself is that I'm an athlete. I was talking to a trainer the other day who was talking about people who will come in, who will eat right, exercise, get healthy, get fit, and then fall right back into their old ways and their old habits. And it's not because they don't understand fitness cognitively. It's because they've never flipped their belief into believing that they are now an athletic person. They're now a healthy person. I'm a fit person. Fitness is part of my life. They never got there. And because of that, their mindset kept dragging them down. It was that thinking. Look, this goes deeper than just exercising, because man, if that's all you get out of this, you really missed it. Like, think about like this. How do you see yourself in terms of your character? Like, let's say you're a guy and you think of yourself, you're like, man, I'm a cheater. I'm a dog. I'm a playboy. Guys that believe that and women that believe that about themselves, even if you met the most amazing person, right? You meet the most amazing woman and you're freaking out because you think it's only a matter of time before I go to who I am. I'm pretending to be faithful. I'm pretending to be loyal. I'm pretending to be a good guy. But ultimately, who I really am is a dog, is a cheater, is a playboy. So what happens? Some situation presents itself. You cross a line. And now that line becomes the truth that causes you to believe about your future, that you are what you are, you always will be what you are, you'll always be what you've been. And you never changed your mindset into thinking that actually I'm a great guy. I'm a loyal guy. I'm a man of integrity. I'm a good dude. I'm faithful. One of the fruit of the Spirit, faithful. And so because of that, people who have been forgiven by God, redeemed by God, are still limited in their minds. Because the guy who thinks that he's faithful and believes that he's honorable and that he's loyal and good, even if he crosses a line and makes a mistake, he'll humble himself, he'll repent, and he'll get back to who he believes himself to be instead of falling off the deep end. And friend, this applies to every single area of your life: heart, soul, mind, strength, neighbor.